Welcome to the Kirklees College Virtual Open Day for Foundation Learning. If you have any questions, please type them into chat and we will answer them at the end. It would help if you could say which course or centre that your question relates to. In this session, we'll not be able to go into too much depth about individual student support needs. There is a presentation about additional learning support available on the website for you to watch. Within this, there is information on how to contact this team to discuss individual specific support needs.
Hi, my name is Julia Farrer. I'm the Curriculum Area Manager for Foundation Learning. Welcome to our virtual Open Day. In Entry to Learning, we have two study programmes, the Entry 1 Award in Life Skills and the Entry 2 Award in Skills for Working Life. The courses in Entry to Learning are there to develop practical skills as well as English and Maths competencies. They prepare you to progress onto a range of courses, and the curriculum is engaging, varied and includes work-based activity as well. Students start by studying an award in the first year, and some may progress to a certificate followed by a diploma before progressing onto the next level. The majority of students will have an educational health and care plan, and you will receive support to develop both academically and in your general maturity and social skills. Assistance with applying for transport to college is available, as is financial support for the courses. Students are taught in a safe environment with a high staff ratio. English and Maths is taught contextually with a focus on money, time, arithmetic, reading and sentence level writing. This prepares you for progression as well as work, be it paid or voluntary. There are many practical elements to all the courses. They include art, pottery, cooking and baking, horticulture, DIY, to name a few. Why choose Foundation Learning? In Entry to Learning, you will receive high levels of support from both your tutors and the additional learning support team. Group sizes are kept small to ensure that every student's needs are met. Although everyone is working towards a qualification, you will each have individual targets that are set to meet your individual needs. You will have a personal target as well as one for English and Maths. These are regularly reviewed. The timetable is approximately 16 hours a week over 3 days. All courses in Entry to Learning have a practical focus that allows students to engage in college life whilst improving their English and Maths skills as well as preparing for progression and the next stages in their college life. You will be developing your personal and social skills through all of the curriculum due to there being a strong emphasis on teamwork and personal well-being. There is also a large focus on transferable skills, including all the ones that you can see on the screen. We would now like to share with you a preview of Entry to Learning. What can you do after your course? So these qualifications are stepping stones to further education in college and gives you work experience in groups, preparing you for work opportunities later. I would now like to introduce you to the qualifications we have in Foundation Learning. The courses that we have available in Foundation Learning include the Entry 3 Award in Personal Skills that runs at Huddersfield and the Entry 3 Award in Practical Skills that runs at Springfield. These one-year courses offer flexible learning programmes with each student working towards individual targets. Support is tailored to meet your needs. The courses have a strong focus on citizenship at Huddersfield and practical skills at Springfield, and offer students a range of modules designed to help with self-awareness, finding out what you are good at and what you enjoy, as well as settling into college life. You will be supported to identify your personal learning goals and career opportunities, as well as engaging in community activities. You will also undertake maths and English and functional skills, tutorial and some work-based learning and teamwork activities. At level 1, we offer courses in work skills and retail. These courses are designed to meet the needs of individual students working at level 1, and they have a very strong practical focus. At Huddersfield, there is a weekly work-based session that is based at Bradley Woods Activity Centre, and at Springfield you will be able to undertake a range of practical activities including enterprise activities and working at the local park. They provide a unique opportunity for students who require an extended and flexible transition into college life and may have struggled previously within an educational setting. The focus is primarily on helping you to recognise the importance and value of education, identify your personal strengths, qualities and skills, identify barriers and challenges you face in learning and actively work to overcome these, engage in college life and get ready for the next steps in your college journey. You will also undertake Maths and English GCSEs and tutorial sessions alongside your work-based activity. Within Foundation Learning, we also have some courses that are there for progression. These include Work Focus, Step Up and the pre-supported internships. These are exciting opportunities available to students who wish to stay within the Foundation Learning department after completing one of our other courses. These courses are there to prepare you for work or for voluntary work. Project Search is a 5-day programme that runs out of Dewsbury Hospital and is designed to develop employability skills in a real work environment. Students with an EHCP who are planning on leaving education work with a tutor and a job coach within the hospital setting on different job rotations. The aim of the programme is employment, and students have the opportunity to learn about the world of work by immersing themselves in a range of roles and where there is an actual business need within the hospital. So why choose this department? You will get high levels of support. You will be given the opportunity to take part in work placements. At the moment, we're not quite sure how this is going to look due to COVID-19, but we will look at other ways to do things remotely if we need to. You'll be timetabled for approximately 16 hours a week, and this should be over 3 days. All of our courses have a strong emphasis on transferable skills, as seen on this slide. Many students who complete these courses go across college to do a qualification in one of the areas listed in the slide. For example, construction, plumbing, art and design, music, health and social care, and hair and beauty, to name a few. For others, they would like longer in foundation and internally progress, including progressing onto Project Search. As a department, we work closely with parents and wanted to share some of our most recent feedback. Please take the time to have a little read. Thank you for listening. Please type in any questions and I will do my best to answer them.
Okay, I hope you found that useful. So we're going to go over to Rachel, who's one of the tutors within the department, to answer any questions you may have. Are you ready to go? Yeah, okay.
Yes,
First question, how will we know if you can support our child with their EHCP?
So usually we have really good contact with schools in the area. They would normally more informally get in touch with us in the early part of the year, certainly sort of the early in entry 1, entry 2. But we also then get the consultation for somebody's EHCP that comes through the local authority, and at that stage the support department also look at their needs to see whether we can support them in college. But it's really a conversation between parents and us. Obviously, you know, I'm already in contact with some parents myself who are thinking about college for September this year, just to look together to see whether college is the right place for them and to see if we are able to support them in college. But yeah, we offer really high levels of support. We have an excellent support team. We have lots of facilities, including sort of tracking and things in the bathrooms, sort of personal care and so on. But for me in entry 1, I manage the entry 1 course in foundation learning at Huddersfield. We have small group sizes, we have really good support levels within the class. So more often than not, we can sort of support a young person.
Okay, and through that process, the college will consult with the Senact team. If for any reason we can't support any HCP, the college does explain why.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, that's sort of during that consultation. Yeah.
So we've got a child with medication. Can this be stored and administered in college?
Yes, yep. So we have a care team. This is obviously Huddersfield, but I know Springfield's the same. We have a care team. They store any medication that's needed and you know, administer the medication as and when it's required. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Is the college day similar to school, and will my child be in every day?
So college full time is 3 days. So we're in 3 days, the students are in 3 days every week. The college day is perhaps a little longer than school would normally be. So all days except for a Wednesday is usually sort of 4:15 finish, 9 till 4:15, and on a Wednesday all the classes in college finish at 3 o'clock. So it's a slightly shorter day.
Okay, as a parent, how will I know how my child is doing in college?
So we have really, we want really close contact with families. So within entry 1, we have a communication book. We write in it every day that the students in college, if parents want to write anything, we're more than happy. In fact, it's great if they do. But also we're available all the time, email, sort of phones and what have you. We're always available.
Okay, transport. Does the college organise that, or do I need to organise it?
So we can help you organise it. Transport's organised through the local authority, like as in schools. So it's the same department as organised school transport. There's a form to fill in. Again, we can help you. We've got copies of that, and we can give you some guidance in filling that in. But it's probably what you've already filled in when they've gone to school, and then that goes off to Kirklees Council, and we're in touch with the council over the summer in terms of what days a student's in, so we kind of firm everything up with the council also.
Okay, will I have an identified key worker?
So we don't have we have support workers, but yeah, normally if a student's in for 3 days, we try to offer them the same support within that 3-day when they're in those 3 days. So they will have a named support, absolutely, yeah. And their teacher also. You'll get to know the teachers really well too, hopefully.
Okay, as a parent, what is the bullying policy and how will this be dealt with if my child experiences this?
So we obviously do have policies and procedures in terms of bullying, but it's not something we have a lot of. We really try to support our students with positive behaviour, and we're, as far as I'm concerned, in entry 1, we are with our students all the time. We go down for break together. We are around at lunchtime, so there are always staff around. in the college refectories, and it isn't really something we experience a lot of for our students.
Okay, so we live near Spen Valley and can get to either centre. Do you allocate the centre or do we get to choose?
As far as I know, you get to choose. I think sometimes the council sort of look in terms of transport. They might say, why have you chosen Huddersfield if you live maybe in Dewsbury? But equally, I have had students come to Huddersfield from Dewsbury. So as far as I know, you can choose whichever centre sort of you think suits you best.
Okay. Do you do woodwork in the foundation department?
So I think they do at Springfield. We don't at Huddersfield Centre. We don't have the facilities in the new building, but as far as I know, they do at Springfield, yeah.
Okay. We've got a question that I'll answer. It's about visiting college before starting. Myself and Rachel were discussing this before we went live. In an ideal world, we would be having people already going round college. Because of COVID, we're not actually allowed to bring anybody in at the minute. The plan is we will keep reviewing this, and probably later in the year, June-ish time, when things, fingers crossed, have settled down, we will be able to start bringing students in and to have a look round. There are some virtual tours on the college website where there's some videos of the centre, and we are looking at producing some more videos specific to foundation that we will then be able to share with students. I know there's a few people worried about that. Right, next question. My child's got mild learning difficulties and is in mainstream but not engaging. Would this be the right area for them?
So I would say yes. Even in the courses of entry 3 level 1, there's a real heavy focus in sort of developing that young person, working intensively with them to develop sort of the maturity, the pastoral support, really if they've been disengaged in school to sort of re-engage them, and that's the sort of the heavy emphasis really for the students that are sort of maybe just sitting below cross college courses, to kind of prepare them to go on to a course across college. So yeah, I would say definitely.
Okay, and we've got somebody who wants to study sports. Is it included in any of the courses in foundation?
So it isn't specifically included, but we all try to make use of our college gym. So some of the courses, they do go down on a regular basis to the college gym, but it's not an intrinsic part of any of the courses in Huddersfield, as far as I know.
Okay, my child was the pre-entry level. How many students are in a class?
So 8. So students sort of around pre-entry usually come to me. We have maximum of 8 students in a class. We usually have 3 support in the classroom at the same time, and a teacher. So you can imagine the support levels are really high, and often higher than actually they are in school actually. So yeah, we have really good levels of support. We spend the day together, we go for break together, we have go down for lunchtime. There's always somebody around at lunchtimes. They're met from the taxis as they arrive, they're met from the taxis, somebody's with them going into college, and somebody takes them from their class to the taxis in the evening. So they're never on their own. They've always got somebody with them.
Okay, sorry, I'm just typing an answer to someone privately as well.
Okay.
To multitask. Next one is, how is support built into the classroom?
Support work really closely with the students. So a support worker is usually allocated 2 or 3 students, depending on the needs of the students. Sometimes we have students that have one-to-one support, and we work as a team. We're all aware of the students' targets. So even if we're doing an overall topic on one thing, everybody's working on their individual targets within that day.
Okay, do students have their own specific areas, or do they mix in the wider college?
So we have our own foundation learning area. Only foundation learning students can actually get into our area. Everyone uses their college badge to open and close our doors and into the area. Cross college students actually can't get through. But we do go for break and lunch in in normal times. In the wider college environment, we access the library. Again, it's always with support, but yeah, we kind of do a bit of a mix, but foundation learning is its own area for foundation learning students.
Okay, and we've got somebody asking about food. Can they bring their own food, and is lunchtime supervised to make sure my child eats?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So they can bring their own food, or they can buy food in the refectory. But yeah, we would go down for lunch. Certainly in the sort of entry 1, entry 2, we'd go down for lunch together. And the staff, the support team are around all the time. So yeah, absolutely, somebody would be there to make sure they kind of managed, or to help people as they need it.
Okay, and then just on that as well, if your child qualifies for free school meals, then you can apply for free college meals through the bursary scheme as well, which I think helps a lot of students.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when people are usually when they come to enrol at the end of summer, we sort all the bursary forms and things out at that point. But yeah, we help if we can.
How long does foundation last for?
Well, so it depends on the needs of the student. So a student might come to me in entry 1, they might do an award with me, and then they might stay on and do a certificate and even a diploma. So that would be 3 years. At that point, they might be able to move on to entry 2, which can be 1 or 2 years. So, and then potentially entry 3. So it depends on the needs of the student, but there is definitely a journey. And obviously a student with an EHCP has that time up to being 25. So they have the time to sort of to go on that journey. So as long as the student is making progress, we're able to sort of progress them within foundation learning or beyond.
Yeah, and someone's put, do students regularly progress out of foundation into other areas?
Yes, so if a student comes in at entry 3 or on the level 1 courses, absolutely they do. A student starting with me in entry 1, whether they'll make the progress right through to level 1 is not as we don't see as many students doing that. That is quite a journey in terms of somebody with a learning difficulty to make that sort of progression. But if they're able to, that's fantastic, and we just offer them all the encouragement we can. And we certainly don't want to hold anyone back, so we do our best to kind of help people make the progress they can.
Do you have any facilities for children with physical disabilities to get physio, or will they need a PA?
So we do have some facilities. We have, as I say, we have rise and fall. We have a bathroom with all the sort of the tracking and what have you in. We can carry out some physio. We don't have our own physios, but we're always welcome to sort of physios coming into the department to show us how to use certain things, how to do certain things with support as well. So yeah, absolutely. If we can, we will. We have occasionally had some students that have come in with their own PA if their needs are such, but it's certainly that conversation that we'd have in the initial stages to sort of talk about that.
There's a couple of people asked about age range, so just to clarify, the students got an EHCP that can stay with us up until, is it 24 age?
25, yeah.
Okay, if you don't have an EHCP, then you can still stay with us longer. It's just we need to look at the funding once a student gets past 19. And that there's lots of things involved in that, so we would look at that on an individual basis. My child's in Calderdale, can they come to Kirklees College?
Yes, yeah, I've got a couple of students with me this year that have come through, that come from Calderdale, yeah.
Okay, do you have any clubs after college that people can participate in?
So we don't. we don't in foundation learning. I guess our college day finishes at a certain time, and then the transport arrives at that point, and that's when people go home. So we don't have anything sort of in the evenings or what have you.
Yeah, I think that's where we're a bit different to a school, isn't it? And that
I
is
guess so.
Within the college
day,
sorry. Okay, so the next one, do you offer additional tutoring in maths and English?
So we wouldn't normally, a sort of a student, you know, we would aim to sort of meet all their needs within the college day, really. So we do work on English and maths within the college day, whether it's embedded in our curriculum like it would be on mostly on entry 1, entry 2, and obviously it's taught separately on entry 3 and level 1.
Okay, and then actually similar to that, Rachel, is do students have to do GCSE English and Maths, or will you look at other qualifications?
So they do functional skills, entry 3 and level 1. It does depend on the student. Some of our sort of higher level students, they do try and get through the GCSEs, because obviously it's one of those things there's a focus on. But the functional skills is also something that's done entry 3 and some of entry 2 as well. But it depends. We don't have to put the students in for those. It just depends, yeah, on the individual student.
We've got a student asking about progression. So if they're finishing foundation, can they go to do woodwork?
Yep. I guess so. If they're going on to a level, they're obviously a level 1 course across college. Yes, they can. Again, students can get support on cross-college courses, not just within foundation. Some students do get their own one-to-one support to enable them to access cross-college courses too.
Yeah, I think for that one as well, for the student, if you talk to your tutors about that, they can plan that transition and send you on. You can go on taster sessions in construction to check that you're happy. Okay. If we pass foundation in the first year, can we do something else?
Yeah, definitely. I always feel like we're there to try and help our students progress as far as they can. So if a student's coming to us entry 3 or level 1, they're usually just 1-year courses anyway, and with the plan that they will go on to cross college beyond foundation learning. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. We've got a parent that says, I'm not sure if my child's best suited to E3 or level 1. What would you recommend?
So when they apply, it doesn't, to be honest with you, it wouldn't matter which course they apply for, because at interview, you'd spend a real sort of focused time with the tutor, and it might be, certainly if it's within college, you do some sort of assessment. We use different assessment tools, and also we liaise with school, and obviously in everything we paint the whole picture of the person. At that point, we would probably suggest which course would be best. If they start with us in September, and actually we feel that they're working at too high a level, or they perhaps need some extra help and need to drop down a level, we've got a lot of flexibility within those sort of first few weeks of college to be able to move people if we feel like we need to.
You've got sorry, do you have regular parents' evenings?
So we do have parents' evenings, but we have got very much sort of an open door in terms of conversations with parents as well. We're always available. I always sort of answer my emails and so on. So if a parent wants to talk to us, obviously we're there to talk to at any point, but we do have parents' evenings too. We usually have one in that first half term, just sort of settling in, just to see how they're getting on.
Okay. Do your students' parents have access to Parent Portal as well?
I think they do, yeah. I think some of the parents do use Parent Portal, yeah.
So when your child enrolls, information sent out to parents about Parent Portal, which is an online site where you can log on, you can see your child's timetable, their attendance, and it's a way to communicate with parents as well. I know a lot of schools have it, and we have it as well.
Yeah, and we sort of definitely try and foster those relationships with families too, because obviously it's important to have a supportive environment for us at college to be able to feel like we've got the connection with the parents too, so we can do the best we can for that young person.
Okay, my child doesn't qualify for transport. Will they get help with bus fares? Yes,
they do. If they qualify for the college bursary, they do get help with bus fares too.
Okay, and do I have to wear a uniform?
Nope. No. The only thing I can think about the uniform is we have an entry 3 work and level 1 work focus course where they run a cafe within college, and they do have their cafe uniform. But other than that, no, absolutely not. You know, they can.
Actually, you've mentioned the cafe. That links to the next question. If my child really enjoys cooking, is there an opportunity to cook?
So there's an opportunity to cook on all the courses actually. Entry 1, we're in the kitchen every week. We've got a huge kitchen within Foundation Learning. Yeah, we cook every week. Be it in Entry 1 or Entry 2, they focus on more of a work skill, so they bake to sell, and they go around and sell their baking. Entry 3, they often again they run charity events, and then we do have a work focus course where they actually run a cafe, a really nice cafe within college, within Foundation Learning.
Okay.
So yeah.
We've got a couple more questions that I'll answer that are still linked to the application and EHCP process. If you're going through the EHCP process at the minute, we still request that you apply for a place at the college, as well as going through the EHCP process. We then work with the councils joining the 2 up, but it also means that we've got all your details in the system. If you've already applied and you're working on your EHCP, any offers to the college are conditional on that the college agrees to support your child in the EHCP needs. Okay, so sometimes the 2 processes don't run parallel at the same time. So get your application in, and then we tie things up behind the scenes. So we've got another young man ask a question. He wants to know, can you learn woodwork and cooking?
So woodwork would be at Springfield rather than at Huddersfield. So yeah, often the courses they do different things. So for example, within Entry 2 at Huddersfield, they do a work placement 1 day a week. But it's as a group. So one of the groups does cooking, another, some of the other groups do maintenance at the university, or they work at Greenhead Park. And there is definitely flexibility to sort of do more than one of those across the year. So yes, I would say you probably can.
My child has got complex disabilities and needs personal support. Is this available at the college? So
we do offer one-to-one support. Depend on students' needs, so potentially yes. Obviously we occasionally have students that come in with their own support, with their own personal assistant, and that's absolutely fine too. So yeah, obviously depending on what that young person's needs are, but yes, we are able to support somebody on a one-to-one basis.
Okay, and then we've got a young lady asking, how many lessons a day will I have?
So if you're in 9 till 4:15, you are in lesson. It's pretty much 9 till 4:15, apart from your hours lunch break, and obviously we have a morning and afternoon break. So the 3 days that you're in are lessons for those 3 days.
Okay, do everybody's lessons run at the same time, Rachel, or is it they could have friends in different lessons with different breaks?
Usually we have our breaks around the same time. There's a little bit of, sometimes sometime between sort of 10:15 and 11. The breaks run. It depends sort of where you are in the class and what have you. But lunchtimes is pretty much the same lunchtime for everyone. So hopefully you get a chance to catch up with people over lunchtimes and break times. Yeah.
Okay, and that same young lady's asking, can I leave college to go to the shops in my break?
Oh, break's only 15 minutes, so you'd have to rush. Lunchtimes, we do have some of certainly Entry 3 Level 1 students. Some of those do leave college to go. We often, depending on the student, obviously make sure that's all right with parents, that parents are aware that that's okay, and what have you. Certainly, sort of in my Entry 1, Entry 2 groups, I would definitely check with parents that that's all right.
Okay, got a question around the security within the college. Is it similar to a school where you can't just walk in?
absolutely. So we've got barriers at the doors in all the entrances, and you have to have a college badge, a college lanyard, to be able to get in and out of college. So yeah, nobody can just walk into college. Yeah, we've got really good levels of security around college as well.
Okay, so actually that is all the questions that have been typed in, and I am mindful of time, but you've done well there, Rachel. It's just a reminder, if anybody wants anything specific to do with the individual student support, on the Virtual Open Days website, there is a presentation about our additional learning support teams. There's two versions, there's a signed and an unsigned version, and within that there is contact details to speak to the additional learning support team direct, because we decided that was quite a private thing, so do that individually with the support teams. Thank you very much, Rachel. I hope everybody found that session useful. That is actually our last virtual open day for today. The next set of virtual open days take place in March, and you're more than welcome to attend a second event if you would like to. If you'd like to attend these events, you can go to our website, www.kirkleescollege.ac.uk, and go to the Virtual Open Days page. As I said, you'll be able to book onto future events there. There's a range of general presentations you can watch and videos of all our centres. If you have any further questions, then you can email info@kirkleescollege.ac.uk, or you can call 01484 437 070, and a member of the team will be there to answer your questions. If it's a little bit specific to Foundation or your child, then it may be the info team knock it onto the Foundation Learning team for them to liaise directly with you. A recording of this presentation will go on the website next week if you would like to go back and listen to it again, and thank you very much for joining us.